The 5600G has entered the chat. All right, now you may be wondering what I'm talking about, because obviously this CPU, or this APU, CPU and graphics combo, has been around for about a year, I think it is. When it came out, the 5600G and the 5700G, the Ryzen 5 and Ryzen 7, both came out decent CPUs. They had less onboard memory, so they've got less cache than your normal, say, 5600X or 57, well, in this case, 5800X. But they had a graphics processor on it that actually held up fairly well, and in some cases better than a regular discrete graphics card like the GT 1030. And we even tested it against the 1030. And what kind of prompted that was I had bought an HP desktop that, just your basic desktop that had a 4600G in it. And I figured that I wanted to test and see just how well those stacked up. It kind of started where I was doing some upgrades to the HP and realized that I theorized that because the performance of the 1030 was so mediocre that I thought the 4600 could probably actually beat it. And I was really sure that the 5600 could. And that we kind of bore that out. So we were able at one point to take a look, and I'll show some graphs up here really quick. I'm not going to go into detail, but we went ahead and we looked at the 5600G compared to a discrete graphics card, the 1030, which at one point, I mean, during this GPU shortage, those and like 730s and stuff like that were being pushed like crazy. You're better off getting one of these if you could get it. We tested against the 4600, and I'll kind of show a couple of those charts, just give you guys a reference. Turns out it does perform pretty well. It's a 6-core, 12-thread, nothing fancy. It's a basic Ryzen 5 CPU with just a little bit more a little bit less cache memory on the CPU, but it does have the video. So if you're trying to buy or you're trying to build a budget gaming system or something like that, this will play games, maybe 1080 low in some cases. Maybe you might have to step it down to 900 or maybe 720, but you still get a pretty decent gaming experience. This started out at $259. $259. The 5700G started out at $359. And the reason why I'm making this video is because it's now fallen down to $150. You can get a Ryzen 5 6-core 12-thread processor with decent graphics, not great, but decent graphics that you can play games on. And as evidenced by Danny D, we did that video about a month and a half ago. That's the CPU that is actually in Danny D right now. And it's working great with a 3060 Ti, so it is upgradable. So and I paid almost full price for it. Well, you guys have known that I've shown budget CPUs like, the Intel, the 11400. We went through the 10105. We went through the 11400. We're looking at some other stuff. We even, took a look at the regular 5600. Yes, it's a different box and everything, you can see. The 5600 because it came down in price. But what I was not expecting the other day when I went online to look, I wasn't expecting the 5600G to also be in that price range. So I was really, really surprised that is now a budget CPU. And if you are looking at especially if you're looking at a budget build, this puts something, you can get a couple used parts, you can buy memory, maybe even a used case or something like that, a motherboard, and you can put you a decent little system together for, to at least hold you over for a little bit for, $300. And you might want something more than that, but say you get a kid brother or a nephew or son or somebody just getting into computers, a daughter or a niece that wants to do gaming, but you don't have a huge budget to spend on it. We got a good start going here, and $150. That's you're talking about being able to make a decent PC for under $300. So I was quite surprised. I'm not going to go back and retest this and everything. I probably will do some retesting when I swap the 5600 into Danny D, because I will do some of those testing, do some of those comparisons just to see what the difference is in having that extra cache memory on there. And I'm also going to kind of test the 5600 against the 5600 regular against the 11400 and see how that stacks up. Now, it's not going to be quite an apples to apples comparison there. It's going to be on a different motherboard, but still we'll be able to get a good idea of how that all works out. So those are coming up, but I just wanted to let you guys know that I was, and I'll leave a link down below. It's not an affiliate link yet, but I have 490 subscribers and I'm pushing really hard to get to 500, because when I get to 500, that seems to be the demarcation that Amazon likes to have people on their affiliate program. So if I can hit 500, I can start doing that, and then I can put an affiliate link and you guys get a decent deal and I get a little bit back for that and everybody's happy. And yeah, go out and if you're looking to build, especially, I mean, there are more new products coming out around the market. We know that prices are falling, GPU prices are falling, CPU prices are falling. I wasn't expecting this one. By far, price to performance, by far the best integrated graphics CPU out there on the market. There's going to be better ones, but they're not out yet. And Intel, I'm sorry, they got decent processors, but the graphics on those processors still doesn't quite measure up to the 5600G and 5700G. So there you go. I just thought I would bring that up because I found out, and so I was sharing that with you guys. 5600 is now a budget CPU. 5600G, imagine that. Anyway, that's all I got for this time, folks. I just wanted to poke in and say that. One thing in addition to, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me on the other socials. I will remind you one very important thing, and I will end all my videos like this from now on. Just do something nice for somebody. Just be nice to somebody. Could be a spouse, could be a neighbor, could be a perfect stranger. Just go out and be nice. Do something nice. Smile, wave, hold the door open. Say please or thank you. You know. You never know. Someday somebody might be nice to you too. That's all I got. So until next time, I'll see you later.